Hi everyone, it's 8 o'clock here. I'm STORMTracker meteorologist Mike Rawlins in the Weather Center, and of course it is snowing. A winter storm bearing down on Montana following weeks here of very quiet weather, mild, dry conditions. Winter weather has finally returned to the Treasure State. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. I want to take you first to something that has probably just gone off on your phone if you have our STORMTracker weather app, and that is the brand new winter storm warning. We had a winter storm warning for the High Line, and now we have a winter storm warning for Great Falls or Cascade County, Judith Basin County, Marr County, and Fergus County. So we just saw the warning expanded into several more counties. Now, at this point, Teton County, Lewis and Clark County, you're still under the winter weather advisory. Nonetheless, it is still going to be snowing as we go into the overnight hours tonight. Let's start off. Here's a live look right now in Great Falls. The snow is light, but the roads are a mess. So if you're going to be driving tonight, make sure that you allow plenty of extra time. We've already heard of one extrication injury accident just outside of Great Falls. We've had numerous reports of semis sliding off the highways around the area. Temperature right now in Great Falls, 26 degrees. Visibility's down to 2.5 miles. We'll get you to our other iCam in Great Falls, and you can see here, same story. Lots of snow coming down. Visibility is tough out there because of the snow. Let's move on here to Helena. Helena, you're not in the snow just yet. You're going to get in on the snow later tonight, if not into Tuesday and Wednesday. So you've got to wait a little bit before you start to see that snow coming in. Lewistown, we've got light snow coming down. It's 26 right now. You can see with that west wind there at about 10 that it feels like 18. McDonald Pass, slick and snow covered right now. You can see the snow starting to add up here on Highway 12. We've got the snow coming down at Great Divide. We've got the snow coming down at Showdown. So let's look at the radar. I want to give you an idea of what we're looking at right this moment, and I'll zoom in here across central Montana. We have seen this band of snow develop here, really from west to east, and we've got what we call banding going on in here, where we're getting some enhanced snowfall rates, and unfortunately, this is happening right across Highway 87, Highway 89, and I-15, some of those main routes that we're driving here, and it has been very slow going because of this snow adding up in these areas. Thanks to everyone that's asking their questions right now. Good evening, Jim, to you in Lewistown there. Elizabeth's asking about what's the prediction for snow levels in Belt. Well, we're expecting anywhere from about a half a foot to a foot of snow out toward Belt and into the Little Belt Mountains here. Sue said it was nasty in Havre earlier today. We were certainly monitoring that snow as it was coming through there. And so lots of snow coming in there. Robin says Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Robin. We're glad to have you here tonight. All right, let's talk about what you want to talk about, and that's the snow and how much snow we're going to be getting as we go into the next 24 to 48 hours. And this is one of our forecast models, and it's snow prediction for the next 48 hours, through Tuesday, through Wednesday. And what I'm going to do is give this another run here, just so we have the latest information coming in here, because I want you to see exactly how much snow that we're thinking from this particular storm, and give you a better idea of snow amounts with this here. And here we go. Let me get that rolling out. And here we are. We are talking about some pretty hefty snowfall totals, of course, right here across central Montana. Great Falls, 3 to 5 inches, 5 to 8 inches there in much of Fergus County, Lewistown. Judith Basin County, you're going to be anywhere from about 3 to 8 inches of snow as well. And then on the High Line, I could see some of these areas picking up as much as a foot of snow, Cutbank to Havre to Glasgow. You may not get up to that 8, 9, 10-inch mark, but I still think we're going to see some pretty significant snow coming down in this area through Wednesday. Just updated the Mountain Pass forecast as well, and I wanted to show you that because these snow amounts are almost astronomical. Marias Pass, Highway 2, 36 to 48 inches of snow through Wednesday. 3 to 4 feet. 2 to 3 feet of snow for Kings Hill Pass. Showdown is going to get dumped on, which is good news for skiers and boarders, bad news for anyone that has to drive over 89. About a foot for Rogers Pass and a little bit less there, or lesser amounts for McDonald Pass and certainly over Boulder Hill. We've got a lot going on in terms of, again, those snow amounts in these areas. So let's talk about specific areas here. We'll start with the Rocky Mountain front. And we're looking at, again, as you get closer to the mountains, heavier amounts of snow here, 5 to 8 inches of snow for Dutton. And then as you work your way up toward Valier, 8 to 12 inches there, 8 to 12 for Pendroy, 8 to 12 for Cutbank, and then a 1.5 to 2 feet of snow for Browning, 2 to 3 feet of snow for Hart Butte. So that is certainly going to be a mess trying to drive through. So we are certainly going to get our white Christmas this year, but let's all remember how to drive through the snow, because I think that's going to be the toughest part of this, is that, again, we are dealing with some very slick roads out there. Roads are snow-covered, roads are slick, and this is going to be a problem not just tonight, but when you head out in the morning, when you go out for lunch tomorrow afternoon, when you're driving home from work tomorrow evening, we're still going to be dealing with slick, snow-covered roads because additional snow is going to be coming down in many of these areas. Sarah's asking what the roads will look like across the state by Friday and Saturday. Sarah, there's another storm on the way, so we'll get a break Thursday, and then we're tracking another storm for Friday, and that storm will likely drop another half foot of snow on many areas. So once we clear the roads from this first winter storm, we're going to be tracking the next storm on the way here as we get into Friday. So just ahead of the big travel period, more snow coming our way here, so we're getting ready for that. As we look here, Linda says hello from Duck Lake near Babb, about 5 inches of snow there. We are also getting in some new reports here from other folks. Cutbank here has picked up, where did that report go? Cutbank, 4 inches of snow there at Cutbank, and that was as of 5:30. We've gotten 2 inches of snow in Havre as of 6:30. We don't have an official measurement in Great Falls, but just glancing out the back door here, I would say about an inch, inch and a half so far. The problem is initially some of that melted and then froze over, and so now, of course, we're dealing with ice topped by snow, and that has made it very rough on the roads there. Jared James says, you rule. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Kathy says, please drive safely. Of course, we want everyone to know that conditions are going to be kind of rough as we go through the next few days. So certainly be prepared for the snow to be coming down. Conditions are going to be kind of a mess here off and on as we roll through the next a few days. And so just kind of be ready for that. If you have a question, don't forget to post it here, and I'll try to answer that as we continue on with our Q&A here in the next few minutes or so. We'll just keep talking about everything that's going on here. Whoa, I look quite orange. That's interesting. Let's see if we can. Now it looks cold in here. Of course, we have heating trouble in the studio anyway, so it's either incredibly warm in here or incredibly cold. So there we go. Maybe a little bit more normal there. Let's get you to some of the graphics here and show you again. If you're going to be traveling on Tuesday, of course, it's going to be snowing, widespread snow. Sarah says I look purple. All right. It's pink, purple, orange, Oompa Loompa. I'd look like everything tonight. So here we go. Travel forecast. Of course, across the state, it's going to be snow for Tuesday. So we're going to be dealing with that. As you get out toward Washington State, Oregon, the Cascades are going to be getting in on the snow, but it's going to be rain at the coast. Moving on to Wednesday, of course, we're still getting the snow across Montana. The snow is going to move a bit farther east and south into Idaho, Wyoming, and into North Dakota, and also a little bit more widespread snow for Oregon, except, again, if you're along the coast, it's mainly going to be rain. Thursday, a break from the snow across the Treasure State. Good news if you're going to be driving on Thursday, and then on Friday, we've got another round of snow on the way, and again, this storm could bring us another, say, maybe 3 to 6 inches of snow as we go into Friday and Friday night. So if you're trying to get out of town for the big holiday, just be prepared because the snow is really going to be adding up here. Here's a look at the temperature forecast, because this is another part of the weather story. We're going from highs in the 40s and 30s to the 20s, to the teens, to the single digits. This is Great Falls. Through the next 7 days, it is going to get cold here as we roll into the weekend and early next week. Helena, same story for you. Still close to 40 tomorrow, then 20s, teens, single digits as we go into Christmas. So get ready for that cold air to start moving back in here. It's going to be looking and feeling like winter all over again across the Treasure State, so we'll get ready for that. Again, we're keeping an eye here on those winter storm warnings that we have in effect. Those were just expanded. If you have our STORMTracker weather app on your smartphone, many of you have that. I know that you use it a lot. We've got a lot of faithful viewers there. Here's our STORMTracker weather app. And just within the last few minutes or so, we saw a brand new winter storm warning. In fact, it says it at the top of the screen. Oh, maybe we can't see that. It's kind of difficult to see. But winter storm warning just issued for Cascade County, Judith Basin County, and Fergus County, and Marr County until 2 o'clock on Wednesday. So we're expecting as much as 2 feet of snow on Kings Hill Pass, and we're looking at some pretty heavy snow also for Great Falls. I'm still thinking 3 to 5 inches, but I may up that to 5 to 8 inches. I'm going to look over some new data before the 10 o'clock news, and then I'll reevaluate that. We'll talk about updated snow amounts coming up again for the 10 o'clock news here. But there's the winter storm warning, the newly expanded winter storm warning here. That, again, does include Great Falls over to Lewistown, Cutbank, and Havre. It is going to be a nightmare trying to drive, especially on Highway 89 and across Highway 87. So just be prepared for that here. As we go into Tuesday, into Wednesday, the roads are just going to get pretty messy. You can continue to ask your questions here on our live feed. Let me scroll down. Here we go. Anne's asking about how much snow in Helena on Tuesday. And for Helena, it's going to be Tuesday into Wednesday for that snow. As we go into mainly Tuesday, Wednesday, again, we're going to be dealing with some of that snow there. Tonight, maybe a little bit of a rain-snow mix. Right now, it's not looking like we're going to be getting a ton of snow in Helena. I'm still in that 1 to 3 inch range there. Sarah's asking which direction will be the worst. By far, northwest Montana. If you're trying to get to Kalispell, if you're trying to get to Whitefish over Highway 2, you're going to be dealing with the worst conditions on Highway 2. In fact, I would not even advise trying to drive Highway 2. Plows are going to have a tough time trying to keep up with the snowfall rates, which are going to be approaching 2 to 3 inches per hour there, looking into northwest Montana there as well. Road closures, Melissa asking about road closures on Marias Pass. So far, we've not gotten any reports of road closures. In fact, let me double check here that we haven't seen any of that as I switch computers. As far as I know, we have not seen anything from the Department of Transportation talking about road closures at this time. What I do know is that a semi it went off the road about a half-mile west of Silver Stairs Falls, and that semi is now being pulled out. It's being retrieved, and so there is some lane blockage there on Highway 2, and that happened earlier, and so we're going to be monitoring that to see how crews are following that. Just wanted to give you an update here on I-15. This is milepost 356. It's about 2 miles south of the Marias interchange. A semi-truck has gone off the interstate there, off I-15, blocking the southbound passing lane of I-15, and so we're down to 1 lane there on I-15, and so we're monitoring that as well. And of course, we've got, I don't know if you can hear in the background, but our newsroom working very hard here to bring you the latest information on crashes, on incidents, road closures, road conditions across our area. Shannon and Tim and our team there in the newsroom are going to have the very latest for you coming up here on the 10 o'clock news. So we'll of course be ready for that as we go into the next few hours. But a lot happening here as we continue to monitor the snow that is still coming down across central Montana. We're getting a little bit of banding happening, some intense bands of snow that have set up here. In fact, let me get you back here to the radar, although I lost my feed over here. Stand by. Let me get back to that. Hello. Let me get you back here to the... We got problems all over the place. All right. Let's go back to the computer, and we'll take a little tour here through Great Falls. It's cold out there. It's snowing. Here's another view in Great Falls. The roads are a mess throughout Cascade County. Helena, you haven't gotten in on the snow yet. It's coming. Lewistown, you've seen some snow. In fact, the roads are covered. You can see those covered roads right in there. So got to take it easy on the road. You're down to 26 as well, so it's going to be freezing if you're getting the snow there. McDonald Pass, snow-covered and icy. It is snowing at Great Divide. I can tell you it is snowing at Showdown. And here we go on the radar. You're looking right now at the STORMTracker Doppler network here, our network of radars across the state. And we've had some intense banding of snow right in here. You can see these darker blue colors on your screen. This is where the snow has really been piling up over the last couple of hours. And here's what's going on. Let me paint it on for you. There is a cold front that is sitting right in here. There's the front. We have cold air trying to move down out of Canada. At the same time, we've got warmer air that's sitting down here to the south. And where the two are meeting up together along this front, we have something called frontogenesis occurring, or which would be the development of a front. And we've got intense snow developing. The air is being forced to rise. And that's why we're getting this intense banding of the snow, snowfall rates of 1 or 2 inches of snow per hour. And that's why it's adding up so quickly in that area. And that's why we have increased the snow totals across central Montana. And that's why we're also thinking, again, that the roads are going to be a mess here for Tuesday and Wednesday. Alexis says, thank you for all the effort. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. Tom is asking the long-term duration of this snow event, 2 or 3 days. Tom, this snow will end Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, and then another storm arrives for Friday. How are the roads going to be from Helena to Missoula? The roads are going to be very slick. I think you're going to have better luck there at lower elevations, but as you're going up higher and higher, the snow is really going to be piling up. In fact, Seeley Lake picking up about 1 foot of snow here in the next couple of days as well. Linda says Duck Lake is frozen with about 6 inches of ice on it right now. As we continue to, with the colder air in place here and the snow starting to really add up here. Tom's asking, what is it looking like from Lincoln to Great Falls? His son is coming home from Missoula. You're going to see some of the heavy snow tonight and tomorrow on Rogers Pass, so look out because it is going to be very heavy on Rogers Pass at times. We've already seen that. Sarah's asking, will this affect the Dakotas? North Dakota will get in on some of this, especially on Wednesday, we think. So snow coming down there as well. Wanda's asking what it's going to be like around Roy, Montana. We're going to be getting the snow there, about 3 to 8 inches of snow. It's a wider range there. There are some factors that could play into whether or not you get into the heavier stuff here. Snow has stopped in Cutbank. Lisa says that it's cut off there for right now. Sharon's asking about Shodo. Still thinking about 5 to 8 inches of snow for Shodo through Wednesday as well. Glacier County. Wind for Glacier County. Leland's asking about that. I do think the wind will pick up on Wednesday right in Glacier County. We could see gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour, so there are going to be some blowing and drifting snow concerns there as well. Mary says it's good time to stay home by the fire. Absolutely. So just get out the, if you've got the fire, crank up the furnace maybe a little bit and enjoy that here. Kim's asking about Great Falls to Fort Benton. It is extremely slow going right now. It is snow covered on 87 from Great Falls to Fort Benton. I would advise holding off on driving to Fort Benton or back and forth until we can clear up some of the snow there and we can get the crews out on the roads here overnight. MDT crews are out, by the way. They've got a full fleet out working the snow right now, working to clear the roads, but it's going to take some time to keep up with it, especially with those 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates that we're seeing there. What's the low tonight in Havre? Sarah is asking about that. Let me just flip over really quick and actually look. I don't have Havre's number memorized. I know. 25 tonight for Havre, and then for Havre tomorrow, the high is just about 28, so steady temperatures almost all day long. Missoula to Great Falls on Wednesday. Cindy, take it easy. It's going to be slow going there, especially through Rogers Pass. Some of that final snow works its way through as we go through there. Miles City, less snow there, 1 inch to 3 inches of snow for Miles City through this entire storm. Jim says it's snowing in Windham right now. No wind. Good news. 24 degrees there on his thermometer. Missoula to Browning on Christmas Eve. Helen, I think crews will have had time to clear some of the roads by then. Remember, we've got another storm on the way for Friday. This is not the only storm that we've got coming our way here. Carolina's asking about Great Falls snow predictions, still going with 3 to 5 inches. I'll be looking at some new data here in the next couple of hours. I could up that to 5 to 8, but nonetheless, the roads are just going to be kind of messy, snow-covered and slick, so I want you to just be prepared for that tomorrow and again Wednesday. James is asking for the Babb and St. Mary area. We're thinking right now anywhere from about 1 foot to 2 feet of snow, maybe even up to 3 feet of snow in the St. Mary and Babb area right along the Rocky Mountain front. Miles City and Baker, Kayla's asking. We're thinking, again, lower amounts out there, 1 to 3 inches of snow on the eastern edge of the state. So here's a look at that snow forecast one more time. And you can see here, again, the heaviest snow is going to be on the High Line and up and down the Rocky Mountain front where we could see 3 to 4 feet of snow dealing with some of that there. Tom says, a friend of his says that Lincoln has about 8 inches of snow so far. It has certainly been coming down in the mountains all day long, and it's going to continue overnight. It's going to continue Tuesday, and it'll continue into Wednesday. So it is about 8:22. Of course, it's going to be a very busy night here in the Storm Tracker Weather Center as we look at new model data and then update our forecast. I'm going to be doing that here in the next hour and a half as we prepare for the 10 o'clock news. I hope you'll join us and stay up late because I'll have brand new information on this winter storm. I'm going to be looking at some new data here and then update that snow forecast as we go into not only Tuesday and Wednesday, but we've got that other storm, the next storm on the way here for Friday. So a lot to talk about leading up to Christmas, along with the very cold air that's going to be moving in as well. So I am going to sign off here for you and work on updating the forecast for the 10 o'clock news. And of course, I hope you'll tune in, because we're going to be talking all about not only the snow forecast and everything that's going on there, but we're also going to be talking about the crashes that we've already seen. We've already gotten reports of injury crashes tonight across Cascade County, and in many areas it has been really rough on the roads for many folks. So we'll see you tonight coming up on the 10 o'clock news on MTN. We'll hope to see you then.